said, hey, do you want to do the Chicago Marathon with me? It's in 3 months.
How did you feel after?
Oh, we hurt so bad.
Why do you think, despite of the pain, you keep coming back and we all are coming back?
It's self-improvement. We all just want to get better. And I walked in, and there were probably 100, 150 runners that I'd never seen before in my life.
Wow.
I thought, okay, this is a fresh start for me. We're addicted not to pain, but to challenges. Because we know that the pain will leave. You're just the camaraderie at the end.
Yeah.
How excited everybody was, telling their stories. Because we all have different experiences when we do something like that. Or when we do a marathon, or we do an Ironman. We're all doing the same thing.
We're going here.
But it's just slightly different. I'm just so tired. Why am I doing this? Yep. And then you go through the gates and you feel the energy all of a sudden. And it's there.
Hi, my name is Kat. Join me on my morning run to talk about running, work, and life in between. I hope you enjoy this episode.
Good morning, runner viewers. Today, our guest is Bob Schamus, who is twice president of Houston Striders, one of the oldest running clubs in Houston. He is a finisher of 20 plus marathons. He's a successful realtor in Houston, and he's someone who always remembers your name, even if he only met you once. Welcome, Bob. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Happy to be here. Thank you, Katya.
Well, I remember the first time I met you was actually at Houston Striders.
I remember.
Track. You were doing, as always, orientation for newcomers. And you have this unique ability to make everyone who comes there feel very welcomed. So even if you're new to running, you want to stay and be a part of that running community. How did your journey with running or running journey start?
Well, it's funny you ask, because it started on January 1st, many years ago. And I remember because it was during the Rose Bowl. I was watching the Rose Bowl game.
Okay.
And I was just a chubby teenager, no activity whatsoever. And at halftime of the Rose Bowl, I decided to go for a jog. And I can manage maybe 30 seconds or so, 30 seconds running, 30 seconds stopping. But I just knew it was a good path for me. The weather was great. It was right around sunset time. It was really, really nice day. And luckily the next few days were nice too. So I kept running. And I've stayed with it ever since. All by myself, yeah.
Okay. And so you kept running, and at some point you ran your first marathon.
Yes.
How did you get from being a chubby teenager to running 26 miles? At
that time, there really were only two distances to run. There were 10Ks and marathons. Okay. And after doing a few 10Ks, I did get a flyer. I like to tell this story. I got a flyer at the end of one of the races. So at the time, that's how advertising was done for upcoming races. Okay. And it said 5K and 10K. And I said to the guy next to me, wow, there's a 5K we can do. And he said, no. That's for our wives to do. As we do the 10K. You're doing the 10K, buddy. And I was 20 years old. So, I just thought it'd be fun to do a 5K. I actually did the 5K. I like that too. And then a few years later, we just keep going. I saw that one of the airlines, Southwest Airlines, had a really cheap flight. Yeah, there's special flights up to Chicago. Okay. One of my best friends lived in Chicago. I called him, said, hey, do you want to do the Chicago Marathon with me? It's in 3 months. And there's a long pause. And then
I don't blame him.
Okay. So we both did it. We both had our 3 months of training and we did the Chicago Marathon together. And it was a lot smaller in those days.
It wasn't major yet?
It was 14,000 people total. Okay. 1-4.
How did you feel after?
Oh, we hurt so bad. Both of us did. We couldn't step down off of the street curbs. It really hurt badly. But we did it. Yeah. And we did another one a few years later after he moved to Detroit. We did the Detroit Marathon together.
And then you did more and more.
I did more and more. So, wow, it's fun to travel. So I would use that as an excuse to see friends in different states. Or just to visit national parks in different states. So I've done, as you said, over 20.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure, 25, 30. And most of them are different states. I think I've done Houston 5 times.
Why do you think, despite of the pain, you keep coming back and we all are coming back?
It's self-improvement. We all just want to get better at the one sport. Every time you do a race, and I think we all know this, you think, okay, next time I'm going to sleep better, do more speed work.
We have one of those there that has their next improvement goal. Yeah.
I mean, it's great for camaraderie, of course. And you've done, when we do races, I think we all just get so caught up in the atmosphere and the energy that's all around us. And it's addictive.
It is addictive.
So we just look for another excuse to do another one.
That's awesome. I so agree. Well, back, I think it was 2010, you joined Houston Striders.
Correct.
Why did you decide to join the club, and why did you choose Striders? How did that start?
I had belonged to another club at that time, and it was just the other club was just very, close knit. They were all very close to each other. And even though I'd been a member for years, nobody knew my name. We didn't really do anything together. All the friendship groups were already established when I got there. So it was just really hard to break in. And I remember going to races and just seeing the Striders representing in their shirts and winning relay races and looking like they're having a good time. And on a whim, I went to one of their quarterly meetings. It was at the St. Arnold's Brewery, of all places. Oh, wow. The old location. And I walked in, and there were probably 100, 150 runners that I'd never seen before in my life. Wow. I thought, okay, this is a fresh start for me. So I joined and haven't looked back.
So you joined it, and what's your favorite part about being with Houston Striders now?
Obviously, it's the friendships. Just so many friendships along the way. Some folks have come and departed, moved on to other things, but because of social media, I can still keep in contact with them. And on some of these trips we've done, we've actually met up with them, or they've flown in from other places to join the Striders for our various trips that we do. Yeah.
The club grew in membership, right?
Oh, yeah, a lot. So I remember this in 2014, I just joined the board, and I remember we were talking about membership, and nobody really knew how many members we had at the time. So I asked for the database, and I got it, and we had 55 members at that time.
Wow.
Yeah. But so we've definitely grown from 55.
Yeah, I know now our Track Tuesdays, especially during summer, we sometimes have 100 people there.
Even 2 weeks ago, we had 104 people.
Oh, wow.
In the middle of December.
That's crazy.
To do mile repeats.
Mile repeats, yep.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite parts about Track Tuesday is the watermelon that we have after. Was it something that whose idea was that?
I stole that idea.
You did? Oh, that was
from somebody else. He would bring fruit. I'll give a shout out to Jaime and the Tornadoes. I would see him bring fruit to the Tornado runs. And so I just started bringing the watermelon every week. And yes, a lot of people do look forward to that. I do too.
Yeah, I mean, after doing mile repeats or 800s in 100-degree during summer.
And as I tell people, it's also our only social hour. Otherwise, you come, you do the workout, you just say, oh, what was that speed? Or, how fast did we run that repetition in?
Yeah.
But the watermelon gives everybody a chance to hang out.
That's very true. Yeah, and it's build up those friendships.
And I've learned it's almost always watermelon season somewhere. Most weeks of the year, they have a watermelon somewhere in HEB.
Well, you definitely polish your watermelon picking skills. So, what's also interesting to me, I've been in Houston for some time now, I've seen how many clubs are being organized now, right? Like, I think when I was preparing for this, I checked that there are about 40 plus running clubs just in Houston alone.
Oh, there's got to be more.
Probably more.
Yeah.
There is a club for every interest. I mean,
Correct.
some say that, Gen Zs say that if you want to start dating, you got to join running club.
Yeah, it's a big thing now.
Yeah. Why do you think the popularity increased so much in this recent years?
People have said it's the COVID effect. A lot of people started running during COVID, and they've kept up with it. A lot of us ran long before COVID, of course, and it was still a popular thing to do, is join a running club to meet friends. I mean, that's why we all do it. But yeah, I think there's a lot of media interest in running clubs right now, and that's really helped.
Is it a lot of media interest?
I've seen it. Well, people have quoted me like New York Times stories and things like that.
That's cool. So, if some of our listeners are not running club members yet, why do you think they should join? Why do you think they should become one?
Oh, but you get to meet people just as interesting and attractive as you are. And that's really what we're all looking for. Not everybody, has to be super interesting or whatnot, but it's a great way to meet people with similar likes as you. And you get to travel, you get to have a social life, a newfound social life. You don't have one already with this brand new set of people.
That's so true. I met lots of friends and striders.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful
I mean,
for them.
I think you knew one person when you joined us, maybe more.
I did know one person who brought me, and then it all started from there.
Yeah, that's how we all are. Sometimes it's zero people. Hello, Mauricio.
Well, you've also, I think what's unique about you is that you've been president of Striders twice.
Yes.
Why did you originally decide to run for president?
First time I was asked to be on the board, I hadn't planned on it. Again, we only had 55 people. And of those 55, I don't know, maybe 15 were under the age of 40.
Okay.
So I was slightly over 40 at that time, but not much. And so I just thought we needed to attract younger people into our club. And that was I guess big part of the reason. I didn't have any world-changing views or anything. I just, updated our photos. If you got into our website that time, it would just been like photos of 70-year-old people eating pizza. And anybody in advertising knows that you advertise for the people you want to attract, not for the people you are. So all the people who were under 40 at that time, they all had their photos taken and posted, and just, hey, look how fun of a club we are. And we grew a lot. And the second time we had the post-COVID effect, so we really grew the second time.
Oh, okay. True.
And you were part of that growth, I think.
Yes, I was. I joined in 2022.
Yep.
What was the most challenging about being a president?
There's just so many personalities in a running club, and not everybody, but a lot of people want to have their opinion, but it's along the lines of a third person narrative, like somebody needs to do this, or somebody needs to do that. It's never I'll help you out, Bob, or I'll help out the Striders. It's always the Striders need to do this, or Striders need to do that. So it's just a lot of the third person narratives that pop up.
It's like in the corporation, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I would say, thank you. I don't need more advisors in my life.
Exactly.
I need doers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the Striders, we're not incorporated. Well, we are incorporated.
Yeah.
It's a 501c3, but it's the same way.
Yeah. We do need people to do work. There's a lot. And I know, well, even now, but when you were a president, you were involved in everything. I would say, at every social gathering, every track Tuesday, welcoming newcomers. I mean, you were very engaged. Yet, I know that Striders doesn't pay your bills.
No.
And you have a day-to-day job.
We all do, yeah.
So how did you manage to combine it all? I mean,
Well, luckily I am a realtor, and so my hours are a bit more flexible than most people's are. I mean, I still have to work. I still have to be where I say I'm going to be. And some mornings I wake up not knowing how my day's going to be. But just time management, knowing that Monday morning I always set aside for the Striders from like 9 to 12. Make sure that.
okay.
And so I just never took meetings at those times.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh,
you want
sorry.
to slow down a little?
I got excited. Sorry.
I thought you said you were running slow.
I thought I was. Okay. Now we are.
Okay. So you just prioritize it and set up the schedule.
I make sure Monday mornings were for the Striders. And everything else was just ad hoc. I'd attend if I could. And I wouldn't go if I was busy.
That's cool. Well, outside of watermelon, the other thing that I love about Striders is that we have so many activities together.
Yeah.
And especially out of the state or international activities, races, hikes, you name it. One of them is rim to rim to rim.
Yeah.
And for our listeners who are not familiar, rim to rim to rim is one of the most challenging hikes and trail running in Grand Canyon National Park, where you go from South Rim to North Rim and back. It's a 42 miles route, and you are gaining about 11,000 feet elevation. So what inspired you to do this challenging hike?
When I first thought about doing it, I think I'd already done 4 Ironmans. I've done 6 total now, but at the time I'd done 4. And I read about it in Runner's World magazine, of all places.
Okay.
But those are some speed demons who wrote their story. They wanted to complete it, I don't know, and it's just a ridiculously fast time. I wasn't interested in that. I just wanted to complete it.
Okay.
So I had it on my radar for years. And then during COVID, the beginning of COVID, I guess at the beginning of our workouts during COVID, I brought up the idea to all of our brand new members.
Okay.
And I included people who just joined like during the last month or so at that time. And they were into it. So the first time we did it was 2021, April, and we had 6 of us go.
Okay.
And it was just a lot of fun. And then other people had FOMO. So I said, okay, we'll do it again next year. And we did it again next year. And then other people had FOMO because we kept getting new people. And it's just a never-ending cycle now.
Okay.
I mean, this year, we're going in October, and we've already had 30 people purchase their...
Already 30, wow.
Yeah, they've already purchased their rooms. Are we turning here?
Yeah, it's over there.
Okay. So yeah, we'll have about... and other people are joining the club now who are suddenly interested in going too. So who knows? I mean, we'll have at least 20, 25, maybe 35.
Well, I happen to do that hike as well, so I know it's not only physically challenging, but also very mentally
Oh, it's horrible.
tough. So why, well, first of all, what was the most challenging
Oh boy.
over there for you, or maybe challenging moments? And what did you learn about yourself through overcoming those challenges?
So, just so you know, I've done it 2.5 times. The first time I injured my ankle going down.
Okay.
So I did turn around. Down at the bottom, I turned around somewhere. But I still ended up with 30 miles of activity that day.
Yeah.
And the second 2 times, boy, they were both hard. It's just the second time I did it, I was by myself most of the time. I was with. There was another guy who was with us who had plantar fasciitis.
Okay.
And I said, okay, well, I don't want to go fast anyway, so I'll just hang back with you. And I don't know, somewhere at the bottom, we're going to cross.
We're gonna pass on your left.
he just said, hey, go away from me. You know, I want to do this by myself now. I'm holding you back. I feel really bad. Just go. So I did. So for the next 30 miles, I was all by myself. I would see other striders coming back towards me as they were finishing up. But that whole day I was by myself. So that was challenging. Just doing it at nighttime.
Yeah. Scary too. I mean, it's very dark there.
It's very, very dark. And he's the guy whose light died on him down the bottom of the canyon. And so he had to spend the night at the bottom all by himself.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he said he was never afraid because he knew where he was. He knew he was safe, but we didn't.
Yeah.
So we all woke up in the morning and he never checked in. So somebody called the National Park Service, said, hey, we have somebody who's missing. And they said, no, he's late. He's not missing. So don't worry about him.
Okay.
And sure enough, when he had phone reception, he texted and said, hey, I'm at the gardens right now. I'll be there in 4 hours or so.
Okay.
And he came in.
That's good.
He didn't sleep, so he's super tired, but he had no issues. He just said he watched the stars go overhead all night long. But my challenge was just being by myself. And you know, I've done 6 Ironmans now, and the rim to rim is so much harder than any Ironman.
So why do you think people are coming back when it's so, I mean, when it's so tough, right?
Because it's so tough. If it was easy, I don't think anybody would do it.
Do you think that we train our mental muscle?
I think so, yeah. I think we're addicted not to pain, but to challenges. Because we know that the pain will leave. And so we want the challenge. And, you know, you were there the last time.
Yeah.
You're just the camaraderie at the end.
Yeah.
How excited everybody was, telling their stories. Because we all have different experiences when we do something like that.
Very true.
Or when we do a marathon, or we do an Ironman. We're all doing the same thing.
We're going here.
But it's just slightly different.
Yes. Very true. I was telling everyone that when we left, I had one thought in my mind. I thought that, you know, maybe 18 hours or so. But coming back, it was never about time. It was about us all coming together.
Yeah.
And it was about not leaving anyone over there in the canyon. So that community that we build there and the friendships are lasting now. And
that's very true. And the appreciation for the people who either you waited for and they appreciate you, or they waited for you and you really, really appreciate them.
Very, very true. Well, I know also Striders is very charitable. We support lots of communities and nonprofit organizations in the community.
Correct.
And you are very supportive yourself. And I believe in early days of your career, you actually joined U.S. Peace Corps and you went to Nepal.
That's correct.
Why there, and how did that all happen after you graduating here in Texas?
Well, I went to college at University of Houston here in town. And you know, I was about to finish college and I never traveled. I'd never been out of the country. Okay. Except to go to Mexico, you know, to the border towns in Mexico. And I just thought this was my one chance to do something really cool. You know, I didn't have any house or car payments or anything to worry about. So I just I signed for the Peace Corps. And then I just remember the letter arrived at my mother's house and she called me and said, His Majesty's government of Naples wants you to go there. I said, Naples? I don't think that's right, Mom. And can you spell that? And so it's Nepal, of course. And so it was Nepal. And at first I said, no, I don't want to go there. I took one look at the script, at the writing script. I said, no, I'll never learn that. But I had friends from India. You're going to school in Houston, of course, you do. It happens. And they said, no, you should go there. It's never been colonized. It's beautiful. The Himalayas are there. You'll love it. And I did. All this stuff was true. It's never been colonized. I learned the script. I learned to speak and read and write. And had a really great time.
Wow. I mean, that's not easy. And you've been there just several years.
Well,
How did you manage?
They trained us for 3 months before we got to the village.
Okay.
They sent us to a training facility in Nepal, in Kathmandu, the capital, or near there. And we had classes every day on reading, writing, and speaking, as well as the technical stuff we had to know for our posting. And we all did homestays with local families, just to practice what we learned that day.
Okay.
So I'm sure we sounded really silly, especially at the very start. But after a while, my Nepali got better. I would dream in Nepali towards the end. Like I would dream, my American mother was speaking to me in Nepali
Oh, wow.
during those dreams. And you might have similar dreams where you know, people are speaking languages you don't expect them to speak in your own dreams.
Oh, I respond in a different language. Mix them all in real life. That happens too.
But I love being in Nepal. So when I was there, I worked with women's development groups.
Okay.
Because what they find is that when men make money, they gamble, they
We don't need any injuries here. Sorry.
no, they have a party, they get drunk with their friends. When women make money, they buy clothing for the kids, they buy medicine for the kids,
Oh, wow.
they send the
okay.
kids to school, and that's kind of universal.
So women basically help and contribute the community and help it grow.
Correct.
And men are slightly different. Okay.
Yeah, the men can still get loans from the banks and things like that.
Yeah.
But for women, it's really small scale stuff. Like we'd work with them in getting 1 male goat and 3 female goats, and that would be their goat farm. Or just little tea shops, and just teach them how to budget
Okay.
and account for their money too.
Yeah.
So they actually could make money. So it's fun. And towards the end, I also taught literacy in Nepali,
That's crazy.
which they thought was crazy too. They said, "You have such a funny accent. How can you do this?" But I had the books, and so I had the time, and they would come to my porch a couple nights a week. The women would, and we do our Nepali readers.
So what was the most exciting about being there, being a part of that mission?
Well, right outside my window was the 8th highest mountain in the world.
Oh,
So it's just beautiful. On clear days, I could wake up and just see Mount Manaslu is what it's called. You never heard of it because it's only 8th highest. But which is so beautiful. Other than that, there's a lot of food. I mean, the food is like Indian food.
Yeah.
So I really liked out there. So I got really lucky with my Peace Corps post. It turns out Nepal is the most requested Peace Corps country.
No way. I wouldn't think about it.
You wouldn't, because the reason is ganja is legal there.
Oh.
And that's why people request it. I didn't know that. It
Duh.
really meant nothing to me at the time. But yeah, some people love their ganja.
Yeah.
And obviously the Peace Corps is wary of people who do that too. Yeah, if you request Nepal, they really, really, really want to know why.
That's cool. Well, you got back from Nepal and then eventually you started your career here and you became a realtor.
Yes.
Why did you choose this path?
Okay. I actually went to grad school in between all that. So I went to graduate school at University of Texas. And I have an MBA and a master's in Japanese literature.
I saw that.
I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I'll do the liberal arts thing and the business thing.
And
See how it
you
goes.
learned Japanese too.
Yes, I lived in Japan for a few years in between all that too. So it
So
worked out.
random for a Texas boy.
It really
I'm gonna
was.
turn here.
Oops.
Oh, sorry.
There aren't many programs that have that dual degree. Yale does, Michigan does, and UT.
Okay.
And 2 of them were just no-goes just because of the weather. And UT was a good fit. I enjoyed living in Austin. So after that, though, I stayed in the business side, and I worked for Compound Computers.
Okay.
And then Texas Instruments. Bought those for a couple years each. And they just weren't for me, doing the big corporate thing. I mean, they had their advantages, of course.
Yeah.
The money, the paid time off, all the good things. But still,
Social benefits.
all the benefits, yeah.
Yep.
But it just wasn't for me. So
Get it.
I got my realtor's license. I left Texas Instruments at that time, and haven't looked back.
Well, you've been successful
I have.
as being a
Luckily, yeah, thank you.
realtor.
Thank you, past clients.
And I know you're not using Striders as your platform to promote that you're a realtor, because I've only found out that you're one just recently. How do you make your sales? What makes you successful in that?
I've been doing it for 20-something years now.
Okay.
So I have a lot of referrals now.
All right.
And I do get some from the tracks. I don't promote myself, as you know.
Yeah.
I just don't think people want to hear that from me at the track. They want to know what the workout is.
I agree.
So yeah, people hear
It will
about
be funny if you start track saying,
yeah.
all right, Garden Oaks has this property.
Yeah, we're not doing that. So yeah, it's all word of mouth, but people do find out. And some use me, which is really nice. I'm very appreciative of that. And I always have if I can promote real quick, it's always a Strider discount where I give back 1% my commission to the seller.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Well, I also know that, I guess when you started your realtor career, maybe for some years, we're gonna turn here.
Okay.
You used to do wine tasting
Yeah.
and then talk about real estate.
Yeah. People love that. And then, so I always kept it under an hour.
Okay.
And I buy all the wine and cheese and just have them sit there, and we just talk about the home buying process, because anybody's bought a home, knows that there's a lot of things involved.
Oh my gosh.
And I just go through I go through everything, but I want people to be more aware when they walk out of the room than they were before. And not everybody used me, but most did for my services. And again, it was a great way to meet people socially too, instead of always having to be on business-wise. Because we all change our personalities when we go to our office, we do our work.
That's very true. Do you think, because I know with Striders as well, right? We have lots of socials that are around beer.
Yeah.
So do you think there is a connection or between beer and running, wine and business?
I think as long as we have something in our hands, whether it's watermelon, or we had somebody who was a representative for Athletic Brewing Company,
Okay.
which is non-alcoholic beer.
Okay.
But she would bring those to the track, and people would just sit around drinking it. So you couldn't get drunk from it. Nobody wanted to get drunk anyways. But just having something in our hands and a way to start a conversation. So what are you drinking? How's that taste? Etc. So I think so. Beer's a big part of social anything. Almost every brewery in Houston has a running club.
True.
And a lot of the bars have running clubs too.
Yeah. So getting back to the community and how it's a great way to meet people.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, you're sitting around with something in your hand.
Yeah. And it's
There's a reason to still be there, to not just go home.
absolutely. Yes. Well, I also heard that 180 something days ago, you started a challenge to run every day.
Yes. Today's actually day 191.
Okay.
So,
What? First of all, well, tell everyone about the challenge.
so the challenge is to run once a day, at least once a day, for a minimum of 2 miles.
Okay.
And it has to be a run, it has to be 2 miles. And that's the only requirement. Some days are more, of course. But like Friday's typically my off day. So I typically do 2 to 4 miles
Okay.
at zone 2 training, which is just like this training, I guess. Conversational pace. So I started because back in June, a friend of mine who runs with another club called the Freaks Run at Night, he said he was going to go from July 1st to December 31st. That would be his streak.
Okay.
I said, I'm going to do that with you. I'm going to do it with you. So I started a few days early though, like at the end of June. I just kept it going. And I saw him sometime in July, like, I don't know, late July.
Okay.
I said, hey, Tony, how's it going? He said, oh man, I dropped out on day 3. Sorry, should have told you. So I wasn't going to stop. But I kept it going. And the neat thing is, because I met other people who have longer streaks. And they're all, I would never have known that otherwise. Like one girl just hit her 600th day.
600 days.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Another started in COVID, so she's over 1,500 days now.
Is it rain or shine?
Rain or shine.
Oh my.
Oh yeah, you don't get off days in running. Streaks anyways. And another, she's on 800 and something. So they're all much further. But I will say, Tony sent me a message on January 1st. It's okay, today's day 1. I started, I ran. So we'll see how that goes. Today's January 3rd.
Today is 3rd, yeah.
So we'll
you gotta check on him tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. But I've enjoyed it. It's just,
bet.
I mean, it's just part of my daily process now. And honestly, as he said to me way back in June, 2 miles is doable. It's, go at a conversational pace, zone 2, and anybody can do 2 miles.
That's very true.
And it takes the body some getting used to though. The first month is hard. And now that my body's used to it, every day just seems normal.
Well, you're definitely driven by challenges.
Yeah, I
can
guess
say
so.
that.
But we all are.
Yes.
We all want to qualify for Boston. But we all want to get faster in our 5K. Or do a sub 25, whatever. We all have a goal.
Yes, we do.
And that's what drives us.
As Tony Robbins says, it's about progress.
Yeah. Or in my, because of my age, not regressing quite so quickly.
Yeah. Well, we're all heading there. So
yeah.
it's about over.
At this age, I just want to beat all the guys who complain about their ankles or their sore backs.
So what do you think drives you?
Well, at first, it's family health issues.
Okay.
I come from a family with just bad hearts on one side of the family. And so that drove me at first, to be honest with you. And maybe still does a little bit. But now, the camaraderie, the constant challenges. I mean, I don't know how you feel, but on every Tuesday after track workout, I'm kind of depressed that I won't see these folks again for another whole week.
I feel like I don't want to go during summer because it's so hot. When I come there, I don't want to leave.
Yes.
Yes.
And we call it the magic gates, where you walk through the Heights High School gates, and all of a sudden, all your pains and all your anxiety disappear.
Yes.
Because believe me, it's Tuesdays in summertime, I don't want to go. I really don't.
I mean, it's 100 degrees, yeah.
And you're tired, and your body's circadian rhythm is shutting down.
Yes.
You think, oh, I'm just so tired. Why am I doing this? Yep. And then you go through the gates, and you feel the energy all of a sudden, and it's there. It's very palpable.
Very true. What are your goals for 2025?
To actually train for a marathon this year and run it. And there's a marathon on my birthday in California. So I want to run that. I've signed up for the Houston Marathon. Not so sure I'll be able to complete it, but I'll give it a shot. Rim to rim to rim again for my 3rd completion.
We are gathering a group for Kilimanjaro. You want to join that?
Maybe that too.
Okay.
There's a lot. I just saw that that's pretty exciting stuff.
Yep.
The Kilimanjaro.
Yes. Will be exciting.
Yeah.
Anything professionally? Any professional goals?
No, this is not a good time to set professional goals as a realtor. No. It's a pretty slow market right now, but that's okay. I mean,
Cyclical.
we all go through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gone through this before, and people have to live somewhere. People are still moving to Houston, so we'll come out of it okay. It's just right now, just the whole industry is so slow.
Yeah. It's very true.
Yeah.
We'll come back.
Yeah.
It always does.
It always does. It always will. The prices will go up a little bit. Houston never really had the big boom. Where prices were going up 20% a year. But we never really had a big bust either.
Yep.
Since the 80s.
Okay. Are there any exciting races in 25 or something that Houston running community is doing that you want to share?
No, I mean, the usual big stuff, the Houston Half Marathon in October. Some folks have talked about going back out to Big Bend to doing the race out there. As far as Houston, Houston has a very thriving, very vibrant community. There's almost something every week, it seems like.
Okay. Well, we are approaching the end of our loop, and for our listeners who are driven and ambitious, and some of them are active runners and some are just aspired to be, do you think that running had an impact on your professional success in your life, and if so, in what way?
Oh boy, that's a big open question. I think runners are just naturally optimistic.
Okay.
We just are, and we're driven. So I think both of those qualities translate hopefully into all of our professional lives. And it definitely has for me too. Because realtors, of course, we have to be optimistic. Even though what I said just a few minutes ago was kind of pessimistic. That's true, but it does come back. So the optimism and the energy translate, I think, from running into professional lives.
Thank you. I very much agree. So, well, I know you're doing the race soon.
Maybe.
I hope so. I wish you all the best. I wish you to finish strong. I think that's the most important thing. And then train for the next one. Keeps training and keep overcoming more and more challenges we're going to turn here. Thanks a lot for running with us.
Thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Have a great day.
So quickly.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. All right.
We hope this episode will inspire you to stay active and never give up.